Welcome in to CHGO Bets, CHGO Big Ten After Dark. I still don't know how to intro this show. It's powered by DraftKings Sportsbook. I know that. They're the best sportsbook out there. Download the app today and use promo code CHGO when you sign up. If you're a new customer, you can bet $5 and you get $200 in bonus bets instantly if you use code CHGO. We are in Studio B for CHGO Big Ten After Dark for this massive Big Ten After Dark because we are predicting the conference tournament. I'm Sean Anderson. You can follow me on Twitter at Sean_W_Anderson. My partner in degeneracy who always hosts CHGO Bets Daily with me, Cody Del Mendo. You can follow him on Twitter at Cody_CHGO. And the big dog.
Let's go.
Back from Indianapolis, even though he already lives in the state of Indiana. Mr. Flake, Greg Braggs. You can follow Greg on Twitter at gbraggsjr23. Hi, Greg.
Hi.
We missed you last week.
I'm sure you did.
Were you busy?
Wanted to grill me about the IU game or whatever happened or transpired, but that's all in the past because now the Purdue Boildermakers are your Big Ten champions. And Zach Edey is the Big Ten Player of the Year, Gary Ross. No shared. And how disrespectful of the Big Ten to give Coach of the Year to Collins. Chris Collins from Northwestern.
What do you mean, how disrespectful?
There have been 7 teams in the history of the Big Ten to win the Big Ten by 3 games or more. And 6 of the 7 won Coach of the Year in the conference. And only Matt Painter this year did not win it. A team that was projected preseason to finish 5th or 6th in the Big Ten. 0 5-star recruits. And they win the Big Ten by 3 games. Northwestern, hey, respectable season. They're going to the tournament. Highest seed ever in a Big Ten tournament. They're the second best team in the Big Ten seeding-wise. Had they lost to Rutgers in the last game of the year, do you know where they would be ranked in the Big Ten? Do you guys know?
No, I don't know.
Well,
I know where they did finish in reality.
Yeah. Finished second, and had they lost the last game of the year, they'd finish 9th. 9th! So that's the difference between that and Coach of the Year. It was disrespectful to not give it to Matt Painter. And I'm trying not to focus on the negative. We're going to focus on the positive.
Is that what we're going to do?
Matt Edey, one player, Big Ten Player of the Year, National Player of the Year is coming right up. And your Purdue Boilermakers, Purdue Boilermakers, are Big Ten champs.
I missed you. Hey, Greg, what happened in the last Purdue game? Who'd you guys beat?
We beat Cody's Fighting Illini.
I had no idea.
He's trying too, Sean. Assault. All this for 2 days straight.
He straight up assaulted Matt Mayer on the fucking floor, Braggs, and you know it. And you know if things were the other way around, you know that you'd be crying like I am too. He's straight up assault.
Matt Edey has been assaulted all year long.
Oh, don't get me started on that. I watched a guy who was basically the same size as him for 3 years. I know what you're talking about. That's how the Big Ten refs work. They freaking suck. They suck for everyone. I'm not saying that they benefit anyone or anyone else. They suck. They truly suck. That should have been a flagrant foul. You can't tell me otherwise. I will go in the offseason. I'll complain about it next year. I'm never going to forget it. It was assault. Straight up should have been a flagrant foul. I'm sorry. It's how I'm not saying that it's the reason that Illinois lost the game. I'm not saying anything. That was just a flagrant foul that wasn't called, and they've called flagrant fouls for dumber shit like hook and holds, for example. That's on the NCAA. So don't tell me that I'm blaming the refs.
I like that Zach Edey gave a little sauce on the end of that push. Good.
Oh, my God.
Let teams think twice about getting physical with the big man. I've been saying it all year long. You want to get – this guy has been mauled, scratched. He's got scratches he's going to wear the rest of his life, draped all over him, holding him down, everything they can possibly do because he's just so big. And you know what? The 320-pounder finally gave a little back. And you know what? I have no issue with it. Zach should do more of that to make players think twice about coming down into Zach Edey's land in the paint.
Let me just jump in real quick. Sarah, crack 'em, mate. Shout out to Goose Island. You know what I'm saying? We might be here for a while because I think Cody's got a retort.
Well, I saw you grab one, so I was like, wait a minute. This is my last show today. I was like, I have nothing else to do.
It's after dark. We can get a little crazy. We're already betting. Why not be a little bit more of a degenerate? Are you okay? Are you sure?
Had to get
blood
it out.
Pressure now high?
No, I'm fine. Braggs on Twitter the other night was saying that I was crying about it. No, I'm not crying about the ending of the game.
Out of the business. You and Mark Carmen tagged me in something I had nothing to do with, and that's why I didn't come at you. You guys came at me. Let's just get
Fair,
this.
But also, you said that I was taking this well, and I of course it sucked watching that comeback and it not going my way, but I'm not blaming that loss on one player and another. Illinois just didn't execute in the final minute. They had every chance to steal that game. And that's why in that original tweet, I said that Purdue fans can't feel great going into this tournament and in the NCAA tournament.
And that was what I pushed back on you about. I completely disagree. Yes, Illinois went on a run in the second half. They have a very talented team. They should have played better in the first half. But no, Purdue fans, with everything that's been going on the last 6-7 weeks, with Purdue losing, a large handful of games, the last 2 games at Wisconsin and then beating Illinois at home, a team that gives them some matchup problems. Yeah, they came back, but no, as a Purdue fan, I thought they looked as loose as they've looked all, in the last month and a half, to be quite honest with you. Illinois certainly made it interesting, but I think you're starting to see Braden Smith start to get a little more comfortable. And, yeah, Zach Edey turned the ball over a few times. That was Zach Edey's worst game of the year. He was -10 and plus-minus. So a credit to your big man for giving him fits in a mismatch for him. So,
Hawkins.
To me, I think Coleman Hawkins. He certainly had a great game against Zach Edey. So probably the best anybody's done against him. So, no, I disagree. I think Purdue is starting to take a breath. I think there was some tightness to win the Big Ten, and now they can kind of focus on March after accomplishing the Big Ten championship. There it is. The champ is here.
Oh,
the champ is here.
Greg.
The champ is here.
I regret
is that really heavy? Is that like 75 pounds? You look like you're about to drop that son of a bitch.
It ain't no joke. That thing is heavy. And when I had to pass it back to the athletic director for Purdue, he was trying to we were trying to exchange the phone with the trophy. And I was trying to one-hand it to him. I'm like, don't worry about my phone. The trophy is what's important here.
This is actually a brilliant picture, though. This is amazing.
It is. It's a very well framed photo. It almost looks fake. Yeah, I agree with Gary. It looks photoshopped.
I need somebody to Photoshop my man on the left out. If somebody can Photoshop these heads around me, I'd really appreciate it.
Give Joey that.
Joey, I need your help.
Pay him $20. He's busy with Bulls right now.
Joey, put the Bulls stuff down and help me with the Photoshop. Ah, dang.
I'm sorry, Cody. I'm sorry.
Okay, first off, that picture doesn't bother me. They had already won the Big Ten before that game.
Oh, I know, but just he's just seen. He seemed hurt.
I'm looking forward to Braggs' downfall, though. That's what I'm looking forward to.
This is what's such garbage. This is what is
Listen, I had to deal with it 2 years ago when Illinois was a 1 seed going into the NCAA tournament. Someone else has to take the slander.
Sarah, I told you we'd be here for a long time.
Cody's the only one that has a fair gripe with me because I started the smack talk with him at the Christmas party. So we've had something where there was actual smack talk. Kevin Kadick, Adam Hogue, Mark Carman, they created this rivalry with me in the last couple weeks as if I've been talking smack to them when they've been bashing me about Purdue. Then I flex on them that we win the Big Ten, and they're like, oh, all you're doing is talking crap. And I let Carm have it when Penn State beat Northwestern when we were down in Indianapolis. He's so upset. We literally had to call a truce for this week. And I'm sitting here like, I'm the one that said Northwestern was going to make it to the tournament in January. I was giving Chris Collins his props back then. And now all of a sudden I'm being villainized with the CHGO team across the board as if I'm some smack talker here.
Well, the first thing that you said on this program about Northwestern today is that he shouldn't have been coach of the year.
I can have respect for the season Northwestern had and the job that Chris Collins has done, and still in the same breath say it is a travesty that Matt Painter didn't win Coach of the Year.
No, it's
for
not.
The Big Ten.
Please look up that definition. You are misusing that word.
It
is not a travesty that a team didn't win.
The team lost 2 guys to UNC and Duke, and was picked to finish in the bottom 4 of the Big Ten. And they're not only are they going to the tournament, but they got a double bye in the Big Ten tournament.
We are predicting the Big Ten conference tournament with Northwestern as a number 2 seed. I know you want to live in a reality where they're a 9 seed or something like that. They are a 2 seed, Greg. That's coach of the year standards.
Okay, but the point of that statement is how close it is, the difference between 2 and 9. It's not like they won 2 from a wide stretch of margin from the back end of the Big Ten. It was razor thin. It just speaks to just how packed in that middle of the Big Ten is. Purdue won it by 3 games. They were the only team that was consistent all season, and they're getting denigrated for having a last 4 weeks where they had teams, I got words today.
You got the Big Ten Player of the Year.
Yeah,
I don't know,
man. You got the national player.
You're telling me that Purdue is getting bamboozled and just screwed by the Big Ten people who vote on this shit. Come on, man.
The bar is so low for Northwestern that if they have any semblance of a season, we're going to put him in as Coach of the Year. It's garbage.
It's true.
They won the Big Ten with 0 5-star recruits. Last year, they lost Jaden Ivey, Travion Williams, Sasha Stefanovic, Isaiah Thompson, and Eric Hunter. 5 key contributors, most of them seniors, won a lottery pick, and turned that around with 2 freshmen in their starting lineup and won the Big Ten by 3 games. I'm not trying to disrespect Chris Collins. He had a great season. He deserves a contract extension. But to say that Matt Painter shouldn't be Coach of the Year is egregious. Maybe that's the better word over travesty.
Greg, they're asking people around the office today what's the most annoying Big Ten fandom, and Kevin actually didn't get the chance to ask me yet. He went home, so maybe I'm not going to be featured in this TikTok. But if Kevin, hold on. If Kevin Cato asked me, I would have said USC. But then I spoke to you, so I might give it up to Purdue.
See, and I wouldn't be surprised at all. I already know what Hogue and Carm and Kevin are going to say. So you know what? I'm ready for it. And if I'm not a part of this TikTok, I'm going to riot. So the TikTok better not be created until I get to the studio tomorrow and say my piece.
No, but you could save your piece, but just also, like, who's the most annoying fan base in the Big Ten? There is one right answer, and if we're excluding USC and UCLA, because USC is the clear answer now with the Big Ten in the Big Ten.
I mean, Illinois and Michigan are close, but it's Illinois fans. And,
wow. All right. Well, that's a new one. No one said that today, actually. So
maybe Indiana fans. Gary's certainly pretty annoying. I mean, they are. Indiana.
I said Rutgers.
So Illinois
Rutgers is a fake Big Ten school. They shouldn't even be on this team.
That is literally exactly why it said that. Because they're just not real.
You can't hear them all the way from New Jersey. You can't hear them.
They're not real.
Most people today were saying Ohio State because of how their fans are obnoxious about the Ohio State.
But the Ohio State, that part is obnoxious. But it's Nebraska. Nebraska hasn't won jack shit since, I don't know, the 40s.
Cornhuskers.
And they're rolling out here like they actually give a damn. Like Scott Frost was going to lead them to a national championship. Fuck out of here.
But
You guys suck.
We're talking strictly basketball, right? Or are we just talking?
I was talking Big Ten. Just, you can, however, I just think they're annoying.
It's basketball season.
For basketball, I said Iowa. So
Indiana fans are
That's
pretty bad.
basically off Fran McCaffrey alone.
yeah, Fran McCaffrey alone. Also, Iowa fans on Twitter don't like me. So
all right, the Orange Crush and the Illinois fans are pretty crazy. We've seen them have their little.
we're a special breed. We're a special breed. I get it. I can see why people might think we're obnoxious.
Bad too, because like when it comes to the Purdue IU rivalry, they talk about banners that most of them have never seen. Stuff that they won in the 70s. So but I just think Illinois overall has, because the thing about Illinois is they don't have a true rival in the Big Ten. Their rival is Missouri. You know this to be true.
Brags. No.
They play rivalry week. Who does Illinois play? They play Missouri, Cody. Yes or no?
When is rivalry week?
What is the game when Missouri and Illinois played? What is it called?
They call it the bragging rights game. I will agree that is a rivalry game, but you cannot tell me that there is no rivalry for Illinois in the Big Ten. That is not true.
Well, and that's my point is you guys have rivalries scattered all over. Like Purdue's is just IU. But Illinois,
that's an in-state thing.
Iowa, they have something with Michigan, they have something with IU, they have something with Purdue, because they're just trying to grasp at whoever they can to give them a rivalry within the conference.
Come on, man. You already beat me. You already beat me on Sunday. You doing this isn't fair. No, that first off, no. See, you're Purdue and IU, it's a thing because both teams are good. All right. And this is the first year where Northwestern and Illinois are both good at basketball. Literally ever.
I gotta be
both good at the same time. Literally ever. Okay. At least in my lifetime. All right. IU and Purdue, they're good. They're competitive every single year. It means so much more there. All right.
Right.
Now, Illinois and Iowa has definitely been a thing for a long time. All right. In Michigan, I'll give you that. The only reason that Illinois and Michigan have anything right now is because of Hunter Dickinson's dumbass for talking and open up his mouth. All right.
Right.
And then I would put Purdue and IU like right next to each other. And it's not like they're super far from each other. It's not like there's a lot of IU and Purdue fans in the state of Illinois too. So it is a thing. Is it like IU and Purdue? No. But that's because Northwestern doesn't know how to be a consistently good basketball program, or else it might actually be something. And we'll see if Illinois wins on Thursday and they play Northwestern on Friday. We'll see if how big it actually could be.
Well, I am rooting for that matchup to take place because the United Center will be rocking for that game. Literally
I agree.
rocking. And so I am rooting for that matchup to take place. But you're going to hate me for this, Cody, and I'm not trying to fracture our friendship because I really appreciate you as a friend and a person. But, like, the only comparison I can make to Illinois with this is the White Sox, because the White Sox rivalry – I know you're catching a stray here, Sean. Just calm down. The White Sox rival is the Cubs, who is not in their division, and – they just are trying everything they can to like create an actual rival within their own division. The Royals, the Twins, the Indians. They can't get an actual rival in the division they play in, and they're more concerned about someone that's not in their division. It's very Illinois-esque with Missouri and then not.
I have hosted a White Sox podcast for 12 months. I have talked about the Cubs in 4 episodes.
But that's just
It's because we did post games and pre games for the White Sox Cubs games. We don't give a shit about the Cubs.
All right. Well,
it's a false narrative. You care about the Cubs and White Sox.
That's fine. You three might not, and I give you respect for that. But
people from Indiana care.
You cannot deny who your fan base is paying attention to, and Cody will back you up.
Real quick, I will just say there was one person on the set of the Cubs and White Sox postgame shows that was truly taking the loss to heart, and that was Cubs fan Cody Del Mendo. I didn't care if the White Sox won or lost. They lost 81 of those son of a bitches, and they won 81 of a son of those bitches. I didn't care if they were the Cubs. I didn't care if they were the Twins. I didn't care if they were the Royals. I don't care about the Cubs. They play the White Sox 4 times throughout the year. Does not matter.
I'm doing
In my
myself
defense,
no
I was
favors.
just very mad at how the Cubs lost those games.
Yes.
Anyway.
But even then, that to my point, Cody doesn't even care about the rivalry. He just cares about the Cubs losing.
Listen, I'm doing myself no favors. I'm creating a bunch of enemies around the office.
Yes.
I'm not trying to do that. You know, I believe in karma. I desperately want Purdue to get to a Final Four and win a national championship. And I feel like everyone at CHGO is now rooting against me. Why? I don't know. I've tried.
Oh, you don't know.
I don't know. I don't
Oh.
know. You asked me for my opinions on this show. Let me just say, though, I am so excited for this Big Ten tournament. Every year it's great, but this year in particular, as closely competitive as each team is, and the fact that it's at the United Center right down the street from our studios. It hasn't been at the United Center in like 5 years because of COVID, and then the year that they had it all in Indianapolis, and now they had it at Indy last year, and now it rotates back to United Center. I cannot wait, and I'm fully credentialed from my own stuff to be at the United Center for the whole week, so I'll be there walking around the underbelly of the house that Jordan built.
Cody and I will be there on Thursday for the day and night session, so hopefully we'll run into you. We got to let you know about DraftKings Sportsbook, and we'll jump into the conference tournament bracket here and predict it a little bit. DraftKings Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of CHGO and all CHG, or and all city, not all CHGO. All CHGO is our website of CHGO and all city. You can take advantage of their no sweat same game parlays. You can bet a 3-leg or more parlay and place a $10 or more wager, and if it loses, you get a $10 bonus bet back. You can also bet on MLB futures. Cody's checking his college basketball bets right now. I'm looking on McNeese State in the first half to see if that hit. LaSalle hit earlier.
Ooh, they are covering right now.
Hey, but it's a fun way to watch and entertain yourself. I lost some money on the Champions League. Might not bet on soccer anymore. But make sure you download the app today. You could choose on what you bet. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. New users, when you download the app and use code CHGO when you sign up, you place a bet of $5, you get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That is with code CHGO. Check out the show notes for more details. And then just to Chris Reuter real quick, there is a vendor strike currently going on with the vendors at the UC and the person that staffs them. But that was a one-day strike during the Bulls-Pacers game. So I don't think it will be a strike during the Big Ten tournament. But obviously I support the union workers.
Whoever loses the Northwestern Illinois game, Cody or Mark has to then hand out food and beer for the rest of the weekend.
There you go. If they match up, let's make that prediction. Let's jump into the bracket here. If you feel free, Sarah, we will go first to Ohio State and Wisconsin. And I can't read. That's the 12-13, right?
Yep.
12-13 of Ohio State and Wisconsin. We also got the 11-14 of Nebraska and Minnesota. We'll start there on Wednesday. We'll start there on Wednesday the 8th. Who do you like, Ohio State or Wisconsin, to advance, Cody?
I like Wisconsin, but I would not be surprised if Ohio State wins that game. I actually probably will bet Ohio State just because I bet they'll be an underdog, unless I don't think those lines are out yet. But I think Ohio State can win that game just because Wisconsin's just their offense just is so not there, and Ohio State kind of coming into this tournament playing kind of well. They didn't beat Michigan State, but they obviously they beat Illinois, and then they won their next game against Maryland. So I
if you had to guess the line, what would you think?
I would guess it'd probably be like 2.5
in favor of Wisconsin.
Yeah,
Wisconsin getting a point. On the money line, Ohio State minus 115, Wisconsin minus 105, over under of 131.
Ooh, probably take the under on that. So yeah, I probably
like
I just
that's the show.
I don't like Wisconsin's offense, man. It's not good.
Well, I like Ohio State's offense. Maybe I'll take Ohio State.
In this matchup, I like Ohio
total.
State's offense, and their freshmen have started to play well here at the end of the year.
Neutral site, which I think that
is
that's a thing.
This is going to be a wasteland.
More Wisconsin fans will be there than Ohio State fans,
for sure.
Well,
if any, on a Wednesday afternoon, late afternoon. But,
what do we make of the hellacious stat though of like all of the good Big Ten teams just winning at home? now all of these teams are on a neutral site. Like this is the most intriguing factor, I think, to me. The United Center is the neutralizer. I really like Ohio State because it's young talent. Just go out and play, boys. What the fuck are you playing for? We're the 12 seed. I think Wisconsin, they're just so timid. They're not active enough. We talk about their slow offense. I don't think that's going to work well, especially when you have different sight lines and tougher sight lines. I think Ohio State's just going to try to play fast and athletic. Give me Ohio State. I like them on the money line.
I like the Buckeyes from a betting perspective, And since you told me the spread, then I guess I like Ohio State in general. I assume maybe the spread would have been a little bit bigger. But, give me the Buckeyes to beat the Badgers. Sorry, Hogue. Minnesota, Nebraska. I like Nebraska, and I think Nebraska actually could beat Maryland if they do win this game. Nebraska's coming off a win against Iowa at Iowa. They've been a pesky team all year. They're like, they finished year 16-15, something like that. I think they'll get past Minnesota, and it'll probably be kind of close just because it's kind of a letdown spot for them. But Minnesota they're the one team in this conference that you can confidently say they really, really stink.
There's been some people saying to watch out for Minnesota in the tournament.
Really? Well, they did beat Rutgers at the buzzard or whatever.
Shocking.
But Fred Hoiberg knows the sight lines. He knows the gyms, my friend. He was the Bulls coach.
So give me the Cornhuskers against Minnesota going into Thursday.
I'll take Nebraska as well on that. I don't know if you have any thoughts, Greg.
Nebraska, Taminga. Taminga is
he's been red hot.
He's Nebraska Curry. So
he really kind of is,
and
really
we know the guards usually end up doing well in a tournament. So we'll move the Cornhuskers on. All right, Rutgers, Michigan. Who do you guys like?
I hate that I'm going to say this, but I'm taking the Wolverines. Rutgers is really falling apart here at the end of the year. And Michigan has to win this tournament to make the NCAA tournament at this point. I mean, they lost in 2 overtimes against Illinois, and then they went to IU, led at IU by double digits, only to blow it to go to overtime. Shout out to them for doing that because it hit the over. Thank you. There was 2 chances for them to really, maybe get off the bubble. I think they have to win this tournament to get in the NCAA tournament now. I like them. I think they match up better against Rutgers in this spot. And I think Rutgers is in no matter what happens in this game. So not that they're not going to try and play hard or anything because they already know they're in, but I think Michigan, 2 straight losses, 2 overtime losses. I think they're due for a win here. So I'll take Michigan. But if they do lose, man, will I be shitting on Hunter Dickinson. I can't wait.
Greg?
Yeah. Right now, my guys over at Delphi Bracketology, their first 4 out are Arizona State, but then their other 3 are Wisconsin, Michigan, and Rutgers. So, and I trust my guy Brian Tonsoni when it comes to this stuff. These 3 teams are looking for a win. So I don't know if the Rutgers are in no matter what. So this Rutgers-Michigan matchup is certainly interesting in that regard. So, but I'm still going to take Michigan. Again, there will be more Michigan fans there than Rutgers. Not sure how much that's going to make a difference, but certainly something to think about. And Rutgers just haven't been the same since they lost Mawat Mag. He was a big depth piece and somebody that could help in the post and made issues on mismatches and things of that nature. Rutgers play good defense across the board, but Michigan's got more talent. And if Michigan can get in the tournament, they're the type of team that can go on a run because they have guys that are going to be going to the NBA, and then they have Hunter Dickinson, who's a certainly talented player. So I'm going to go with Michigan.
I am going to go with Rutgers. I still like them. I don't know. I know it's been a rough stretch here, but like you said, Greg, Wisconsin needs a win. Michigan needs a win. Ohio State, if they, obviously win out, obviously they're going dancing. I don't think that's going to happen. But I think Hunter Dickinson's overrated. I do think this game goes to OT. I'm going to bet that. I think, one of these games has to go to OT. I would also be remiss. Minnesota is getting 6 points. Nebraska is 6-point favorite. Over under 134.5. If you like Minnesota to advance, it's plus 210 on the money line. The games for Thursday aren't posted just yet. But I'm gonna go Rutgers. They do have at least the big to match up with Dickinson, and I don't know. I don't really trust Michigan, to be honest with you. So
it's hard to trust them because I mean, it's not like they led by a significant amount against Illinois on the road, but they have been in position to actually win those road games. So I understand not trusting them because they didn't win, and their own doing was the reason that they lost. So, I get that, but as much as I don't like Hunter Dickinson, I think he is pretty good. I hate saying it, but they also what's his name? Bumpkin, the point guard. Buffkin. He's been playing very well for them as well. So even though they've lost the last two, they have in a way played better than they have all season. Honestly, they just didn't pull them out. They their own doing. So to me, whoever wins that game is whoever doesn't just shoot themselves in the foot the most. So yeah, I'll take the Wolverines, and I would rather see Michigan and Purdue play each other again than Rutgers and Purdue. So that's one reason why I'll take the Wolverines.
I don't know. Maybe Rutgers will be able to get Purdue again. It'd be a fun matchup to see that happen. Let's go back to the bracket though.
Hold on though, real quick.
Oh, do we have to?
We're gonna talk about Purdue in a sec. Do you need to?
Quick. No, real quick. So Buffkin, if you look it up, there's certain different meanings of the word Buffkin, and one of them's the village idiot. The description says, "I went to the village and saw the Buffkin."
That was Bumpkin.
Buffkin.
Interesting. All right, next up we got Iowa versus I have Ohio State. I think you guys have Wisconsin. I'm going to go bold here. You bring up Iowa kind of pooping the bed versus Nebraska.
They did.
I think they do it against Ohio State. I like Ohio State to advance and take on Michigan State. I think this Ohio State team has got a little bit of just annoyingness to it, where I think they're going to be able to dance a little bit. I think this has the capability of like even a double-digit seed to win this entire tournament. We talk about the parity. Ohio State's gotten hot. I think it's either maybe Michigan or Ohio State that are the hot dark horses to win this, but I'll go with the Buckeyes.
Yeah, well, I do think Ohio State wins now that I know the spread of that first game against Wisconsin. So I'm with you on Ohio State beating Wisconsin. Beating Iowa, that'll be tough for them just because Iowa's offense is so good, but they don't play any defense. So I understand your thought process here. But I don't know, man. Ohio State's been so bad all year. I could see them pulling one out against Wisconsin. And again, I could see them pulling one out against Iowa too, just because it's a neutral court. And Iowa's so hot and cold. Like they lost to Eastern Illinois. That's the best part of the entire season for me. Fuck it. I'll ride with you. Ohio State.
Let's go. Ohio State.
If Wisconsin wins that game against Ohio State, then I'm changing it to Iowa.
Okay. Greg, you like Iowa? Who do you like to face Michigan State?
Yeah, I'm taking Iowa. Ohio State isn't the defensive, that like you got to be able to really lock down on defense to give Iowa problems. And if not, Iowa can put a 90-piece on you. I mean, the Iowa-Michigan State game was about as good as it gets in Big Ten this season. Their little comeback there at Michigan State. So I'm going to go with Iowa. Maybe it's against my better judgment because they've certainly been one of the most Jekyll and Hyde teams in the Big Ten. But I'd like to see Iowa move on and play Michigan State in the rematch. So maybe there's some bias there.
We got Penn State and Illinois. Cody, how you feeling for Thursday's matchup?
Not great.
5:30?
Yeah, 5:30. I'm going to be ready to hurt again. You're going to be able to sit there and watch me be in enormous amounts of anxiety for 2 hours.
It's going to be great. I honestly think we might make a TikTok out of it.
Live
POV. Cody's dreams are crushed.
Illinois lost to Penn State twice this year by a combined 27 points. It's hard to beat a team 3 times, though, if you want to spin zone it. I do think Illinois is playing better basketball than they did against Penn State the first time they played, and perhaps even better than the last time they played them. They had every chance to beat Purdue, and coming off a game where they were 1 minute away from being the number 5 team in the country. Give me Illinois. Fuck it. I hate myself, but yeah, give me Illinois against Penn State. Again, hard to beat a team 3 times. But Penn State, from a betting perspective, Penn State is my value play. for like future wise to bet on who to win this tournament. I think Penn State could do it. They're the oldest team in the country. They're very, they're very experienced, and they shoot a lot of threes. And teams in March that succeed or go on these crazy ass runs, they do that. They're experienced and they shoot a lot of threes and they convert a lot of threes. So that's the one thing that hurts Illinois or that's hurt Illinois most of the season is the fact that they shoot a lot of threes, but they don't make a lot of them. But they have stopped shooting them in recent games as much. So I like the way Illinois is playing coming into this game, but I don't know. They also don't need to win this game. They're going to make the tournament no matter what. But I think they can win this game, and I personally would just love to see them play Northwestern one more time. So give me the Illini. I'm ready to be heard again.
We have an Illinois sports book, so we don't have the Illini odds for them to win the Big Ten Conference Tournament, but Penn State to win it all 20-1. So if you put down $5, you'd win a 105.
And the only reason I really think it is because like the bottom part of that bracket is not nearly as hard as the top half, which is weird because Purdue's at the very top. So other than Indiana, I think Penn State could somehow, some way hang around with Indiana. Indiana's kind of been, they're kind of right now coming into this tournament too. I mean, yeah, they beat Michigan, but they were at home losing by 10 points to Michigan just the other day. They got murdered by Iowa before that. But we've also see them be one of the best teams in this conference. So like it's the story of this entire season for the Big Ten is like, what are you going to get? You don't know what you're going to get except for from fucking Purdue. Don't say anything, Braggs.
That's true. What you just said is true. Illinois better win this game because I'm going to be really pissed off if we are rid of the I don't need a Penn State Northwestern rematch. I need Illinois versus Northwestern in Chicago. Let all these fans, make their way to the United Center. I just think it'll be an amazing atmosphere. But unfortunately, Cody, the narrative of, it's tough to beat a team 3 times, I think just works in theory. I think that's more of an NFL term that holds more water because let me give you this stat. Sean's a big stat guy, and I'm busting one out for you. As of last year, March 10th, 2021, so I don't know if this stats changed up in 20. Okay, I'm sorry. But this is where it was because somebody had said it on a show that I listened to that it's at 70% of teams that win 2 games, they win the third one because this was the stat at that time. Over the past 10 seasons, and this was March 10th, 2021, teams that are entering their third game 2-0 are a combined 710 710 wins to 271 losses, a 724 winning percentage. So it probably hasn't changed that much over the last year, and obviously this year will be the first time, teams are playing each other for the third time. So it's basically just over 70% that the team that wins twice does win the third time. But I'm still going to take Illinois because they are the better team. And if they don't win, I'm never going to let you live it down, Cody.
Well, the first step of them winning that game is not letting Jalen Pickett score 40 points again. So, yeah, I mean, he had a good game against Maryland, but the reason they won that game was because he was distributing the ball at the end of the game and guys were making shots. So, to me, if Penn State wins that game, it's going to be because other guys outside of him are doing stuff because there's just no way that they're going to win this game with him scoring all the points again, in my opinion, because I just don't think he's going to put up 40 again.
And the unfortunate thing is Jaden Epps is in concussion protocol right now, too. Yeah, that's a huge wrinkle.
And who knows if he plays or not. I'm going into it thinking that he's not going to play, but it is a big factor, though, and it showed against Purdue with the few turnovers that Shannon had early in that game and just the turnovers they had in that first half in general against Purdue. They were able to clean it up a little bit in the second half. It's been the thing all year with Illinois. If they don't turn the ball over, they can hang with anyone in the country. They showed that against Texas. They showed that against UCLA. It's just like, which team are we going to get? So it is what it is.
Yeah. You bring up the futures just real quick. Purdue to win it, plus 120. Indiana to win it, plus 400. Michigan State to win it, plus 500. Maryland to win it, plus 600. Iowa to win it, 14-1. Michigan to win it, 16-1. Rutgers to win it, 17-1. Penn State, 20-1. Wisconsin, 50-1. Ohio State, 50-1. Which has a little bit of value, I think. Nebraska, 250-1, and Minnesota, 1,000-1. So hey, if you
Minnesota
really
goes on a
can
run.
win,
Wow.
there you go. Let's jump to the final one here, the final matchup,
Yeah.
and then we'll get into
Maryland and
our next one. Yeah, we got Maryland and Nebraska.
We think it's going to be Nebraska. We're assuming. Listen,
They're the
if
favorite
Minnesota,
by 6 points.
if Minnesota,
We don't need to talk about Minnesota. We got
right.
so much time to go. Minnesota's done, dead. If they win, fuck us.
Okay,
You should have taken it at plus 210.
All right, I thinking that Nebraska's winning that game against Minnesota. I kind of like Nebraska against Maryland. And I say this because Maryland has been so bad when they're not on their home court. I know this is a neutral site, but it's not like their fans are going to travel far for this. And I don't even think Nebraska fans will travel far for this. I just think that this game will be close. And you give a team like Nebraska hope, things will happen. And they've shown that all season. Again, they've been a pesky team. I think Nebraska could win this game. So give me the Cornhuskers against Maryland. Wow, I can't believe I said that.
Well, Greg, do you like Maryland? Or do you like Nebraska?
Maryland's winning that game. Nebraska's a fun story. Maryland's got the more firepower, in my opinion. I'm going to take the Terrapins.
I could see Nebraska winning, but here's the thing. We're going to flash the bracket again. No matter what, the winner of that has to face Indiana. And Gary, I'm going to say it. There's been 25 years of the Big Ten tournament. Indiana has won this tournament 0 times. Indiana.
Damn, Sean.
Indiana at plus 400.
No,
is
and that's
my
why
best bet.
he's in the chat right now trying to bet me, do a sandwich bet on Purdue not winning the tourney. He wants the field for the sandwich. He doesn't want to bet on his Indiana Hoosiers winning the tournament because he probably knew that stat before you said it.
Well, yeah, I was just saying that I'll take him at plus 400. If I'll make my own bet on DraftKings Sportsbook. I like him to win it. I'm with Gary.
I think they have the easiest path, no doubt.
I think they have the easiest path, and I just think that TJD can really take over games, and I mean, I don't really see who could stop them. I think that they could beat Penn State. I think they could beat Illinois. I think they could beat Northwestern, and then it's really just coming down to who they face in the final. I think Indiana at plus 400 is great value. I think that they're easily going to advance all the way to the final out of that bottom bracket.
Yeah, I mean, the only team out of that bottom half of the bracket that I think could give them fits is either Northwestern or Illinois. I'm not like Northwestern beat them. Illinois was very close to beating them, and they didn't have Terrence Shannon that day. So, I don't know. But again, yeah, I think that they have the easiest path. I think that Indiana, whether they play Maryland or Nebraska, I think they win that game at least and move on. So
there we go. Greg, how do you feel about Indiana?
Well, I mean, they're going to win that game. Are we going we're talking about it all the way, or are we just?
If you like Indiana, move on that game. That's fine. Then Penn State, Illinois. They're the winner of that face Northwestern. Cody, obviously, you think Illinois is going to get the rematch against Northwestern here, or I guess
yeah. It'll
two
be.
times faced, or?
They play each other twice.
Yeah.
The first time Northwestern blew them out at home, and then the second time Illinois was down 18.5 and came back to win. Boo Buie had a 30-some point game, had a new career high. I think Illinois can win that game if they're just able to slow him down and they don't turn the ball over. So, clearly I'm going to take Illinois in any scenario here because that's what I do, because I know that's what Greg's going to do with Purdue. All right. So if Illinois plays Northwestern, give me the Illini, and let's get round 3 with Indiana.
Yeah, what a job by the Big Ten Coach of the Year, up 20 on Illinois and losing.
Wow.
Impressive.
You're just never going to let that go, man. Is it really that big of a deal?
It is. It is a big deal.
I'm going to come on brag in the stands and tell you why.
Is Northwestern going to lose to no matter who they face?
Northwestern, no matter who? No, I mean, if they played Penn State again, they probably beat them. They should have beat them at Penn State. That was just an insane finish, which was a lot of fun to watch Mark stress about it. I might have lost a few friends in the Bears beat reporter pool that are Northwestern grads from our our antics at the bar watching the game. And when I say our antics, I really mean my antics. As I was literally, Mark was stressing back and forth from TV to TV, and I'm like 20 feet behind him going, defense. So I am a complete jackass. We all know this. So yeah, I would take Illinois to beat Northwestern. It'd be a hell of a game. Can't wait to see it. It better happen or we riot.
All right, I like Northwestern. Sorry, Cody.
I don't blame
whether
you.
it be Penn State or Illinois. I think Penn State beats Illinois, and then I think Northwestern beats Penn State there. So if we want to flash the bracket again, I got Northwestern taking on Indiana. Cody, what do you got?
I got Illinois taking on Indiana.
Greg, you got?
Illinois taking on Indiana.
All right, let's go to the top half. I got Ohio State taking on Michigan State, and then I got Rutgers taking on Purdue. I think Purdue beats Rutgers or Michigan. I don't really want to talk about that too long. Greg, I know you got enough on the Purdue matchup, no matter who they're going to face. I think Purdue goes to the Final Four, I guess, of this tournament, and then I will take Ohio State to beat Michigan State. Let's go. Let's keep the run going.
I mean, I think you guys once again are being disrespectful to my Boilermakers, and I got to stand up for them because you're like, oh, IU has the best draw. I would argue Purdue has the best draw. If you take a look at that bracket, everybody that's on the bottom half, excuse me, lost my voice last week. Everybody that's on the bottom half of that bracket are teams that gave Purdue problems. Everybody that's on the top half of the bracket on Purdue's side are teams that Purdue has beaten. So, and some of
Rutgers
them
beat you.
Yeah, Rutgers.
Yeah, but like I said, they lost Mawat Mag, and they beat us on a game-winning 3 at the very last second. You know, like I said, you want to. Northwestern got blown out in some games. Purdue didn't get blown out in one freaking game, and every game they lost was on the road, except for the Rutgers game that was on a game-winning shot at the end by lucky-ass Cam Spencer. But we're going to take away the Big Ten Coach of the Year and give it to Chris Collins over some garbage like that. Purdue's got a really nice draw on their side of the bracket, and I think they should be able to move on. But, you know, Michigan has NBA talent, so we'll have to see. But Purdue did a good job against them last time they faced them at Michigan. So we'll just have to wait and see.
All right. So what? I took Ohio State as well. I think
You're rolling with me on Ohio State.
Well, against Michigan State, I like Michigan State to beat them.
Okay.
And then give me the Wolverines against Purdue. All right. Purdue, great home team, man. Like, obviously, great home team. Struggled at Northwestern. All right. Couldn't win at IU. Let's see. They beat Illinois fair and square, right? But Braggs, you can't deny it that a month ago you felt better about this team than you do right now. I'm sorry. I just won't believe it. I won't believe it. All right. Again, Purdue has bigger things on their mind, and they should. And I say this as a guy who watched his team win this tournament and then lose in week 2 of the NCAA tournament. All right. So all I'm saying is that this game between Michigan and Purdue means more to the Wolverines because they need it to get into the tournament. So I like the matchup, and it's a neutral court. There's going to be a lot of Michigan fans. There's obviously going to be a lot of Purdue fans. It's going to be an insane game, and I expect it to be close, like I believe the last time that they played, if I remember the score. So again, I think that this tournament is just going to be completely wild. It's nothing against Purdue. It has everything to do with the spot, the matchup, and what Purdue is looking forward to, in my opinion. So give me the Wolverines against Purdue, and like I said, Michigan State against Ohio State. So
yeah, it'll be a weird scene, you know, because it's a 11 a.m. start Thursday morning for that game, you know. So who comes ready to play early in the morning?
Fair,
dude. I'm so ticked, Cody. I'm watching my McNeese State bet. They're not going to be able to cover 5.5 in the first half. They're down 10. Texas A&M Corpus Christi just had a possession that went like this. Missed layup, offensive rebound. Missed layup, offensive rebound. Missed layup, offensive rebound. Missed layup, offensive rebound. Missed jumper, offensive rebound. Missed three-pointer. They, within about 40 seconds, had 7 possessions and missed 6 shots. Jesus. And somehow they're still not covering. 5.5.
I don't like you said sex shots. He's 6 shots. Sex shots.
That's a different show. It is after dark, though. Let's go to the bracket real quick. Cody doesn't have Purdue advancing. He's got Michigan versus Michigan State.
Yes.
And then he's got Illinois, Indiana. Greg's got Illinois, Indiana, and Purdue, Michigan State, right?
Yeah, I got Michigan State winning over Iowa.
And then I think I said Purdue versus Ohio State. And then I said Northwestern versus Indiana. I will say it's going to be an Indiana-Purdue matchup in the final, and then Greg will lose a sandwich.
Absolutely love that.
I would say you're going to lose a sandwich to Gary, and the Hoosiers are finally lifting a Big Ten tournament after 25 years. That is my pick. If you guys want to finish out your brackets, feel free.
Well, I tweeted it on Sunday after I saw the bracket. I think Michigan State goes on to win this tournament. I think Michigan State beats Michigan on Saturday. Illinois, Indiana. I mean, I don't know. Indiana will probably win that game. So Indiana versus Michigan State. Yeah, give me the Spartans, man. I think they're going into this tournament under the radar. I think a lot of teams are talking about them. They're playing well going in this game. The last loss they had was that bullshit against Iowa where they were up by 10 with a minute to go. Everyone knows what they say about Tom Izzo. I don't know. I think that this is a good spot for them with getting the double bye, having some time, and getting to play some teams that are already having to play games ahead. Because again, I think Michigan beats Purdue. So if they play Michigan after them playing 3 straight days, I think they can win that game. And then anything can happen in the championship. So give me the Spartans, if not Illinois.
It's his month.
It is. I hate saying it, but I'm not a Michigan State hater or anything. I have a lot of respect for Izzo. But yeah, that if you force me to not choose Illinois to win the tournament, then I'll take Michigan State. And my value play is Penn State. And maybe sprinkle on Northwestern if I could. Maybe I will at the United Center.
Greg, why is Purdue winning?
Why is Purdue winning the whole thing?
Yes, I'm assuming you're picking Purdue to win the Big Ten tournament, right?
I guess I don't even really.
So sorry.
To be honest with you. I mean, I don't.
Like
know.
I said, they got bigger things ahead.
Yeah, they do. And Matt Painter's even said that in his post-game presser. So, I feel like if they're in a tight game in the second half, he's not going to, overreact to the moment. Maybe let them have one more teaching moment to end it. I mean, if you had to press me against the wall and make me bet whether they're going to win the Big Ten tournament or not win it, I'd probably say not win it. So it'll just depend on, if Ohio State gets there, they're going to walk to the Big Ten final, but oh man, whatever. Yeah, Purdue wins, but I don't feel great about it, to be perfectly honest with you. Like you guys are saying, and it is true, they got bigger fish to fry. So, I understand where Cody's coming from with Michigan. Purdue beat the brakes off Michigan State, so I just don't know how that matchup's going to go again because, but I guess the one element with that matchup is Izzo, the last time they played, really was all over the officiating after the game about Edey in 3 seconds and what Edey gets away with. So it'll be interesting to see how the officiating goes pretty much for the whole tournament, because I think everyone has had their turn with their angst against the Big Ten officiating. So that'll be on full display from Wednesday to Sunday. That'll be pretty funny watching everyone come together with their hatred of the Big Ten officials.
Oh, yeah. It's the one thing we can always agree on.
Fuck the refs.
The refs in the Big Ten are awful.
That's any fandom, any sport ever.
I don't even think it's
refs.
I don't even think it's conspiracy or just me crying. I legitimately think they're awful. And they're so inconsistent.
Bo Borowski retired last year, and he was the one that used to draw most of the ire of the fans, and it has not gotten better. And you're right, Sean, it is every sport, every fan base, but Big Ten officials, it is certainly unique at some of the calls they make or miss. It's all over the map, and they need to do a better job.
All right. That was our extensive Big Ten Conference Tournament preview. We will be back with you next Tuesday when the whole thing is pretty much set up and ready to go. March Madness is here. You can smell
Pull
it.
up the trophy picture again. The champ is here.
Oh, God.
Knock it
Don't
off.
do it. Don't
Yeah.
do it.
Selection
It's
Sunday
here.
is this Sunday.
Yeah.
Pull it up,
Yeah.
Sarah.
It's
Show
literally
it.
probably like an hour after the Big Ten tournament.
We can ignore him, and then Tuesday will be the first playing
Pull up
games,
the
right?
picture.
Tuesday or Wednesday,
Yeah,
yeah.
it'd be a great first show.
Yeah.
Pull up the trophy.
Feel free to pull up the picture
Just-
of Greg with the trophy. Why not? All right.
The champ.
You can follow the champ on Twitter
How
at
you like that,
GBraggsJr23.
CHGO?
Plugging you, jerk.
Boiler up.
At GBraggsJr23. That's Cody Delmendo. You can follow him on Twitter at Cody_CHGO. I'm Sean Anderson. You can follow me on Twitter at Sean_W_Anderson. We will see you tomorrow when we're millionaires at 3 p.m.